The Mike and Tony Show is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey guys, this is Adrienne Dobbs from NutriShop Parker, and you are listening to the Mike and Tony Show.
160 episodes deep, Pierce.
One city.
160. Ooh, I'm a little hot there. I got to take that down. Yeah, crazy week, dude.
Crazy past few weeks.
For the both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Work's been insane.
Dominating life.
Yeah. You got to get back, you know?
Yeah.
You got to always come back to center. Because, like, no matter how much you like your job or whatever, it's not going to be fulfilling if you don't have time in your life for the stuff you need to do and want to do.
Yeah.
Like your health and your family.
It's your work-life balance.
Yeah, work-life balance. Yeah, you have to focus on it to get it.
Yeah.
You've been my counselor this week, Pierce. We know we have differing personalities, and I tend to imagine every possible worst-case scenario that can happen. And the problem is I'll react to it, but it's not real.
No.
I always think about that old expression, the old man, where they say he's on his deathbed, and he's like, man, I had so many problems in my life, most of which never happened.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I don't want to be that guy.
You don't want to be that guy.
You don't want to be that
Stressing
guy.
about it. It's just about everything, dollar. My whole thing is I don't like to stress about the things that I can't control.
Oh, that's 100% it, dude.
So I don't stress about those things.
Yeah, that's the move.
Yeah.
1,000% that's the move, because it's so easy to just worry your face off about shit you can't control. Because for me, like, I think of every possibility, but I don't take the time to go, yeah, but of all those things that could happen, first of all, which of them can you stop or do something about or prevent or whatever?
Yeah.
And if you can, take some action, you'll feel better.
Yeah.
And if you can't, it's the letting go part of the stuff you can't do for me that I struggle with. I don't know why that is.
Yeah. Well, this week I struggle with that. And normally I don't. Usually it's just like, you know, like I said, if I can't control it, then I'm just like, okay, just let it go.
Yeah.
But this week was a bad week for that because it involved money. My student loans. And
Yes.
so student loans are coming back to repayment here in October. And I've always been proactive because, again, I work in the public nonprofit sector. And so I'm trying to have mine forgiven, and I'm more than halfway there for that. Right. And so during this whole time when payments weren't required to be made, I've been making those payments because I want my payments to, like, be counted, and I want to be done with my, you know, my 120 payments as fast as I can.
Correct.
And so now with the student loan payments coming through, they have this new program. So it's like it's called IDR, income driven repayment. And so they basically take all your factors and, you know, your adjusted gross income, your household size, dependents, and then anybody else in the household that has student loans. And so they base that off. They base your payment off of that, those factors. And so my payments have always been like $389. You know, it's not bad. You know, it's basically a car payment, but again, it's manageable, right? And so this new payment that came out is called Save, and it's supposed to save you money.
Great name, bro.
It's the acronym is Save. I forget what the actual acronym is.
Save ass tons of.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be 25% better. 25% savings of the previous ADR, which is the repay as you go.
Okay.
Repay as you earn, and so I got an email, like on August 17th, and it was like, hey, your new payment plan is ready for you to check out. I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, that's weird. I don't know why they changed my payment plan. I was like, my payment plan is already set. So I go in there and I look at the payment plan. And the new payment in there is $1,100.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not saving me anything.
Yeah.
That's like
holy shit.
3 times the amount of I'm paying right now.
Somebody messed up.
And so I was like, oh my God. And so I'm proactive, right? I called them up and I was like, hey, you know, I was like, I think this is wrong. And this is legit what I said to the guy. I was like, I think this is wrong. This is not saving me 25% at all. I was like, I was paying $389, and now you guys have me at $1,100. And he's like, oh, there's been some miscalculations on this new program and stuff. I'm like, well, yeah.
Come on.
No shit, dude.
There's been some miscalculations.
And so
no shit.
we go through the whole, again, they ask for all my information, my AGI, household dependents, and TIRAs, student loans. Mm-hmm. And so it gets me down to $309, which is 25% of $389,
Yeah, almost exactly.
Yeah. And so it brings me down to $309. I'm like, sweet. I'm like, that's cool. That's manageable. I'm saving $80 now. And so didn't think anything of it, just let it go. And then all of a sudden it's like, you got get ready for your auto debit. It tells you, I have it set as a week before. And so I was like, cool. And my auto debit, my payments come out every 7th of every month.
Okay.
And so last Thursday they came out. And so the week before, it says, hey, just double check. So I went in there on Thursday, and the payment was still $1,100. And I was like, oh, no, we got to fix this. We got to fix this. $1,100 cannot come out of my bank account.
How often does that happen to people and they're not paying attention and they're not proactive?
I don't know. Yeah, right? I don't know.
Sheesh.
And so I called up on Thursday and talked to somebody. Mm-hmm. And they're like, okay, yeah, we'll get this all set up and changed. I was like, cool. So I logged in on Friday because, $1,100 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
I looked at it and I was like, okay. I was like, Friday, it still said the same thing, $1,100. I'm like, fuck, dude. So I called them up, and it's like, because everybody is going back into repayment, like wait times are stupid ridiculous right now, right? You're on hold for like 30, 45 minutes before you even get somebody.
Plus there's a bunch of yous on the line going, hey, what the fuck?
Yeah. And so I tried to do on Friday, and Friday's a bad day, right? Because everybody's calling in on Friday.
Of course.
So I didn't get anybody. I was like, fuck. Obviously, Labor Day was Monday, not open. Mm-hmm. And so Tuesday, I'm calling in, and I'm trying to legit cancel my payment, like on the website, like cancel, because I don't want it to come out.
Yeah.
And it was
no luck doing that.
And
though?
it's all, it's like, it's already in processing. The website says it's already in processing. I'm like, the fuck it is. I'm like, what the hell? I was like, it's been a week. It's a week, and I've been talking to people, and so on Tuesday dollar, I call up at 8 a.m. on hold for 45 minutes.
Okay.
Getting a hold of somebody, and I'm talking to this person for 30 minutes, and as I'm talking to this person, all of a sudden, like, it's like the person's talking to me. It's like, okay, so let's try to get this all figured out, and
no.
I was like, no, wait, hey, hello?
Oh,
hello? Are you serious right now?
Bro.
Are you serious? And he goes, bloop, and hangs up. I was like, I call up again. It's another 45-minute wait, right? So, and of course, this is while I'm working. I can still work and be on hold, right? So I'm working and I'm on hold, and I'm just listening for, someone to pick up the phone. If somebody picks up again, I'm like, yes, okay. So I'm talking to her, and I get a girl this time. I'm talking to her, and she's like, I don't see a 309 payment in here. I'm like, no, there's 309. Check it, double check. And so she finally was like, oh, okay, I see the 309 payment. So she's like, hold on one second while I, get this all set up and taken care of. And I was like, what happened to the last 2 times? What's going on? And she's like, I'm be honest with you. She's like, a lot of us are trainees. He's like, with the new student loans being back on repayment, she's like, our company hired a bunch of people to, take control or to field in all these calls and to help with everything like this.
I feel like she could get in trouble for saying
and
that.
She's
directly.
like, she's like, and we're not capable of making a lot of the changes that you're asking us to do right now. I was like, making changes? I was like, I have my payment as $309. I just need somebody to put in there that it's $309, not $1,100. And she's like, okay, well, she's like, I'm getting a specialist on the phone so we can get this all changed over. And so she's like, I'm on hold right now with a specialist to try to get this all taken care of you. And so I'm like, okay, fine. And so she's like, just hold on. And so I was like, okay. And so she came and checking in. She's like, I'm still on hold, just to let you know. I was like, okay, that's fine. Hey, I'm still on hold, just to let you know. I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's fine. I was like, I'll wait here as long as it takes just to make sure this gets taken care of. I'll wait.
And again, you are not every person.
Yeah.
Most people are not going to go through all this.
Yeah, and so I'm like, okay. And so, and then as I'm holding again, dollar, the music's going. All of a sudden, the music.
No, really?
I'm like, no.
It's like they're doing it on purpose.
I was like, no, dude, no. I was like, oh my God. And this time I was on the phone for like almost an hour with this person, trying to get this all taken care of, right? On hold, waiting for the specialist. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, dude. I'm going crazy. Like, I'm going fucking crazy. Now I'm basically, 4 hours into this? Waste it on the day. I'm like, oh my God. And so, I was like, you know what? I'm going to finish my work and I'm going to call after I'm done with work and get this all hashed out. And so, I call at 4 p.m. I'm on hold for 30 minutes. I get somebody, right?
Okay.
And I'm talking to this person, and he's like, and he's all, well, it looks like, he's like, when they did the income, when they did the save plan and they did the calculation for you, I see that it shows 309, but she's like, and then it came, he's like, that's an estimated payment. I was like, okay. And it was like, but when it came back, it says that the payment, it got readjusted to 1,100. She's like, that's your payment. And I was like, okay.
That's such a non-answer. Readjusted? Who readjusted?
I was like, what do you mean? That's what I said. I was like, what do you mean it got readjusted? He's like, well, your income is pretty high for, your household. And I was like, okay. But I was like, my wife also has student loans. And he was like, yeah. He's like, but your income is, he's like, you're above the median, household in United States. So your payment's a little higher. I was like, okay, just because that doesn't mean I'm able to afford that.
But it still doesn't make sense though, because you were paying a lower amount before.
Yes, I know. And I was like, and I was telling him, and I was like, and also, buddy, I was like, my wife has student loans, and her payment is only $600 a month, and she has $130,000 in loans.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I was like, and I have $40,000 in loans, and you're telling me that my payment
is unbelievable.
Higher than my wife's payment?
So this guy's probably rookie too. These are all people.
And he was like, I'm just telling you what the calculation said, so on and so forth. He's like, we can try to get this taken care of. And I was like, yes, I just needed to get this taken care of. I was like, I need to know what to do. I was like, this is dumb right now. And so he's like, okay. He's like, just hold on. I was like, I don't know what to do at this point in time. I was like, do I need to call my bank and put a stop payment on this? I was like,
because you all are not.
I was like, if I put a stop payment on this, or what do I do? I was like, once it goes pending, I'm going to dispute it at my bank. And this,
but he's still saying that that's going to be your normal payment,
and that's going to come out on Thursday. And it's Tuesday. And he said they can't. And that was the other thing too, Dollar. They said that he couldn't stop the payment because it was in processing. That you need to be able to stop the payment 3 days before the payment comes out. And I was like, I called on August 18th. I called last Friday. I was like, Monday was a holiday, so I'm calling today, Tuesday. And it's 2 days before the payment comes out, right? And I'm like, there's got to be something somebody can do there to not make sure this payment goes through. I was like, come on, dude. And so I'm talking to him. He's like, okay, let me, it's like, I got to wait for, a supervisor to get on this. And I was like, I'm not getting off the phone, bro, until a supervisor talks to me. I was like, I'm not getting off the phone. So supervisor, somebody needs to talk to me, dude. And so I'm waiting. It's 6:30 now. I've been on the phone for 2.5 hours this last call. So now on a Tuesday, I've been on the phone with student loans for 6.5 hours. On the phone, Dollar. And so
this is going to be a clip, by the way.
So I'm a pretty cool and collective dude, but I was reaching my endpoint.
Dude, I can't believe you didn't reach your endpoint already. I have had very similar experiences, not with student loans, but with all kinds of customer service. And us being a little bit older, like, they didn't used to be like this.
Yeah.
The same way, you walk in to get fast food or whatever, and they barely look at you. You know what I mean? They got headphones on, whatever. Nobody's paying attention. But it's so ridiculous because before there was justice. It was kind of like, clearly, at some point, a supervisor would come in and go, whoa, this guy, look what's happened to this dude.
Yeah.
Like, let's fix this. But it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
That's why I said this is going to be a clip. We're going to put this shit out. I wanted to spread like wildfire. Like, we have to start talking about this. Like, it's one thing for customer service, but to just like, for people to just get fucked like that. and have all the patience in the world, being super proactive, being like doing every step that you're saying, getting hung up on multiple times. Come on, bro.
Yeah, and so that's
come on,
that's the
and
other
you're
thing, too.
talking about your money.
Yeah. And so I'm like sitting there talking to them, and I'm like, yo, I was like, I don't know if you guys keep notes or anything. I was like, but this is you're like the fourth person I've talked to so far. And I was like, and so I was like, I just need to get this taken care of. And so finally, he's like, I'm sorry, sir. He's like, it's like my supervisor is still on the phone. He's like, but she's saying that you're gonna have to do a stop payment at your bank. She's like, there's nothing that she can do for you right now, and that what's gonna happen if it goes through. She said that she's going to try everything that she can to adjust your payment to make sure that it's at the 309 and to make it stop at the 1100. And if it goes through, then we'll refund you the difference after it's gone through.
Bro.
And she's like, she's going to call you in 2 days and make sure that that we can get you taken care of and so on and so forth. And I was like, okay. I was like, all right, that's it. There's nothing else I can do about this. That sucks.
I've been in that exact same situation.
And so I sat there Wednesday looking at my bank account, looking at the student loan account. Thursday, looking at my bank account, looking at the student loan account. All of a sudden Thursday, bloop, pops up. It's pending $1,100. And I'm just like, oh my God. And again, we're smart people. We have savings, Rather not $1,100 come out. Right, and it's not like it's going to crush or anything, but we have savings. We don't live check to check, anything like that. But it's just the principle of the thing, dude. And I was like,
why? Why has this happened? Why has this happened with customer service in general, with across the board?
Yeah.
Like no matter what it is you're dealing with, I don't really understand.
And my whole thing is why is there so many like little people and not enough like supervisors,
and all these people that don't know what's going on, and all these people that can't do anything.
That's what I'm saying.
They're there to listen. What the fuck is going on?
That does nothing for anybody,
bro.
Just
you're
listening.
telling me I have no control. I have been trying for a week and a half to get a hold of somebody. You're telling me you're taking out $1,100 because you had a new deal to save me 25%. I was paying $389 before. Now you're saying it's $11,000 because that's what was what did they say? Recalculated or whatever?
Yeah, because it was
recalibrated, whatever the hell they said.
Because my adjusted gross income.
It's a bunch of nonsense. The companies know what the fuck they're doing. They put all these dummies on the front lines that don't know anything that's going on, and then they just go, let the machine just keep going. Because how many people, like, to me, that seems criminal. It seems like it's got to be intentional. You know what I mean? Intentionally negligent at the top level of just let all this shit happen, because in the end, most people aren't going to do anything.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny, the 2 times that I got hung up on, at the end of it, like, it wasn't like legit, it wasn't like even like hung up on. After I got the music stopped, all of a sudden it goes to a survey dollar. And it's like, yes. And it's like, based out of, 1 out of 5, how was your resolution solved today? And I was like, beep, one. And it's like, can you tell us what have you been done better? And I like both times I left a message. I was like, this is the first time. I was like, I just got hung up on. I was trying to get my payments down. I was like, I'm not paying $1,100, not paying $1,100. And so, and then the second time happened. I was like, this is the second time I got hung up on. I was like, come on, guys. I was like, what's going on? I was like, I don't know. Those messages probably don't do anything. But I just like left those messages.
They don't. No.
But I did when I was checking on Thursday again. Like there's another point where I checked, and it said payment was 0, and it said forbearance, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, did somebody adjust it? Did it get adjusted?
Forbearance though.
I was like, did somebody go in there and say, this guy's been complaining a lot, like so on and so forth, like just 0. It says 0, 0, 0. I was like, oh my God. But then I look at my bank and it still says $1,100. I was like, oh my God. And it still said pending. And I was like, well, maybe they're just going to like reverse that or something. Because now my student loan payment on my side says $0 and it's asking for $0. Because this whole time that I've been paying has been voluntary payments.
Yeah.
You don't have to make payments during the whole COVID emergency thing.
Yeah.
But like I said, I want to get to my 120
Yep, I remember
payments.
all this. You've been talking through it the whole time.
And so, And so like I was like okay, it's like it says $0 now. I was like, maybe they did take out zero, maybe just reversing everything. And then I checked yesterday. No, it still says $0 payments required. But then in my payment history, it showed the $1,100 went through, and it was like $1,100 went through. $43 went to interest, and $1,053 went to principal. And I was like, awesome, sweet. I was like, but I don't care about the dollar amount that goes through. I was like, I care about
it fixed now? Or are
No.
they going to keep charging you $1,100?
Well, right now in the payment, it says 0 in my auto debit. It says 0 for future payments.
Okay.
And so, but the thing is like, you know,
Maybe they did look into it and they figured they turned it off for a certain amount of time to make it up or something.
I don't know. But I looked at it and I was like, Tara was like, well, she's like, it looks like, you know, only $48 went to interest and the rest went to principal. I was like, that's a good way to look at it. But my thing is like, I'm on the public loans. I'm on the public service loan forgiveness plan. So it's the amount of payments that I'm making, not the amount of the payment. I was like, my payment could be $50 and it's still going to count.
As long as you're steadily paying.
As long as I'm steadily paying. I was like, so this technically is 3 payments right here. I was like, I want them bitches to count this as 3 payments.
It's infuriating, isn't it?
Yeah.
For me, like you stayed way more in the pocket. Like at some point I snap and I'm just like, I just lose it and it never works. It doesn't get you anywhere.
That's what I'm saying. That for me, that's when I realized on at the end of Tuesday, I was like, I'm gonna fucking quit calling because this doesn't do it. It's not doing anything. It's not doing anything
and
for me to
it's
keep on
such
calling.
a time suck.
Yeah, 6.5 hours, $1.
Dude.
And then that last one, like I was like screen recorded how long I was on the phone. It was like 2.5 hours. I was like,
I don't even understand. I can't really. I guess I don't understand how they get away with it. I can understand what drives companies to just have these kind of setups where customer service has vanished, bro. It's just gone. The same way I was telling you with my kid, Jaden, like with his job, all the coworkers, like they just come and go as they please. They don't, they're doing a shitty job when they're there.
yeah.
Like I just don't understand how this continues to go on. And I definitely feel like I'm turning into an old man because I see this shit everywhere and I'm like, what the hell's happened?
Back in my day,
What has happened to our society?
we used to make egg McMuffins out of real eggs. I remember I had a buddy who said that. Like I was like, man, he's like, you had an egg McMuffin recently? I was like, no. He's like, when I worked at McDonald's and I was 16, bro. He's like, we made egg McMuffins with real eggs. He's like, we had the little fucking circle form. We cracked the egg into that little circle form. He's like, and it was like the egg cooked on that little circle form. You flipped it after it was done. Mm-hmm. He's like, now it's all, they get it out of the frozen thing and they put it in this like steamer.
Yep.
And it just cooks it.
Dude, it's the same thing that's happening it's the same thing you're talking about. Yeah. It's the companies, these big businesses get super good at being amazingly efficient and just skyrocketing profits and getting away with just about everything, bro. Just about because that's what has come with our food system is it's like, it's all about these companies making money. There's no nutrition in food anymore. Like it's such bullshit.
Yeah.
Everything that's out there that we're supposed to be eating, and that's why it's like they're just making tons of money and they're hand over fist. And those little egg things are cool though. I got one. We have a pan that's got like the 4 little cups.
Okay.
So you can just make like 4 eggs real quickly, and they stay in a perfect little circle.
I have a sandwich maker.
Oh yeah, we have one of those.
Like an egg McMuffin sandwich maker. So you put the
Those are dope.
English muffin on the bottom,
Yeah.
and then you put like a sausage on the top of that,
Okay.
and then you close that part,
Okay.
and then it has like a little flappy thingy that opens and closes. But you put like the egg or the egg whites. I put egg whites on mine. Mm-hmm. You put the egg whites in there, and then you close it all down, and then you like let it cook, and it beeps, right?
Yeah.
It beeps, and you're like, okay, and then when it's done beeping, dollar. You go like this. You just slide out the little bottom part, and the egg drops onto the sausage.
I feel like I've seen this thing somewhere.
The egg drops onto the sausage, and then you already have your egg McMuffin, the other top on top of it too, and so you just lift it all up, and it's a little sandwich already made in there.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hella crazy. That's the thing is funny too, is like how we have stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you look back at America in the 40s or whatever. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like we ate better. Not necessarily that that's a bad thing, but it's all about convenience everywhere. That's why like the explosion of fast food. And so you've got this thing where we've all become so dependent on that like fast food all the time. And at the same time, those companies have gotten laser efficiency with
yeah.
like making money and like whatever the cheapest bottom line, get the cheapest ingredients, the cheapest everything, increase palatability through the roof. So when you take a bite, you're just like, I gotta have another one. Yeah, it's crazy. Somebody knocking on that door?
No.
Oh, okay. Make sure.
Yeah, it's wild. But yeah, the customer service thing, it's like you said, they just hired people just to be bodies, just to filter in a call, just to be like, answer questions, but not be able to do anything, just to answer questions. And you're like, no, dude, I need somebody to. Once in a while, when I call, can I get somebody to do something? Can I have somebody that has the ability to do something?
And so many companies, have you noticed how hard it is to get a phone number now for a lot of companies?
Oh, yeah.
It's like all these fucking ways to submit requests or chat with bots or whatever, but
Yep.
anything but.
Oh, yeah.
Let me talk to a real person so
Yeah.
they can see what the hell's going on over here because I'm getting screwed.
Tara makes fun of me because I like to call on the phone. Because I'm a phone call person.
Yeah.
She makes fun of me even when I order pizza, bro. I still call 7511111.
Oh, that's
For pizza.
funny.
I still call them, and she's like, why do you do this? She's like, just order it online.
I can imagine them. They're like, is the phone ringing? Is that the phone?
Oh, that's that Mike Pierce again.
Mike Pierce.
Yeah.
Yep. Get his order going.
He likes to know what deals we have going on. Because I feel like they always have like a phone deal.
Yeah.
And I always ask them, like, yeah, what's your phone deal? Oh, we have, 2 large pizzas, some wings, and a soda for $20. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Hook
Well, I
that
think
up,
you're
bro.
you're like a verbal processor too, like an oral processor in general. It's just easier to think things through and handle shit. Just talk it through. It's way easier, bro. And
Yeah.
sitting there on the phone and selecting. No, I didn't select that. Oh God. Or you get it right and then the order's wrong.
Yeah.
That
And
happens all the
then
time.
last week as well is I had another issue with my bank, and not because it was my bank's fault. It was I was being proactive on getting the wifey some flowers because she closed one of her new job. She closed a deal, like a $9,000 deal. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna get her some flowers. Like 1-800-Flowers.com. Like I'm online and everything, and I got the flowers
God.
and I put in my card number and I hit to submit. And it was like declined. I was like, oh, okay.
Weird.
Declined twice. I was like, oh, okay. So he was like, didn't think of anything of it. And so the same day, I also needed gas because sometimes my card, for some reason, doesn't work on some websites. Like for example, on a pizza place that I usually like to get pizza from, my card doesn't like to work for that site. So, anyways, and so I didn't think anything of it, and so I went to go get gas after work, and went to the gas station, and I was like, you put the card in, and it's like, transaction not approved, go inside. I was all, no, I don't like to go inside. Like, transaction approved, please go inside. Because when you're buying gas, I hate to go inside buying gas because you don't know the fucking exact amount of money that you need to
Yep.
to get to go.
You have to give them your card or whatever.
Yeah.
They still do that?
Yeah, it's like $20 on.
Yeah, when I was working on the gas station too,
Yeah.
people were pissed back then too.
Yeah, like-
bro, I don't know. I had people throw their cards at me all the time.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know how much, but it's $20.
Yeah.
And I was in there, and it was like, she was like, so I put the card in, and it was like declined. And she was like, sometimes the chip doesn't work, swipe it. And I was like, okay, swipe. And I was like, declined. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And so I was like, damn it. And so I put in, my other credit card, put the credit card in, and I was like, as I'm like, I was like, fuck it, $20. Just put fucking $20 in there. I don't care. And so
Fill it up later.
Yeah. And so I put $20 in it and call up the the number on the back of the card, to see what's going on. And I called the bank up, and they were like, you've been redirected to fraud. I was like, what the fuck, fraud?
Oh, so somebody was messing with your card.
And so I called and I talked to the lady.
That's usually what that is.
Yeah, and I talked to the lady. She's like, yeah, your card has been was in a breach. She's like, your card was in a breach. Looks like at 1-800-Flowers. I was all. I was like, are you serious?
Why
I was
would
like, I was like, at the time that I was buying flowers, she goes, there was a website breach at 1-800-Flowers .com at whatever at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, so somebody was like hacking in while you were buying flowers.
Yes, dude.
Bummer.
And she was like, it was about 1,500 cards, 1,500 accounts that were compromised. She goes, yours was one of those accounts. So she's like, so we canceled your card. I was like, okay. And it's the customer service thing again, $1. I was like, okay. Do you guys want to like send a notification, email, text saying, hey, your card doesn't work anymore?
Other than just declining my card when I try to use it.
Right, dude. I was like, you guys don't send no notifications? And she's like, we didn't send you a notification? I was like, no. Otherwise, I wouldn't be trying to use my card here at the gas station. I was like, come on, man. I was like, God damn it, dude. And so she's like, I was like, tell me everything that is on the card that they got. I was like, because I bought a few things this morning. I want to make sure that I don't have to go back and like repay them or whatever. And so she told me all my transactions and all that stuff. And then I was like, fuck. I was like, okay. And so she's like, well, order you a new card and, I'll be here, by Saturday. And I was like, okay, fine.
Bro, it's so hard to not lose your damn mind nowadays. It's so crazy. Because everywhere you go, like I think about my commute to and from work all the time, like the crazy shit. Because like we do this little intro for one of our grade level meetings or whatever, and so you got to put what your pet peeve is.
Yeah,
and that's mine is
traffic.
Crazy motherfucking drivers, like crazy on both ends.
Yeah,
the people who are going 25 in the fast lane on the freeway, that irritates the shit out of me.
Oh yeah,
it also irritates me people that are just like think they're in a movie. You know what I mean? You see those people, they're just
So there's just when I got here, it's like this little Subaru that was probably going 60 down that road right there by your house.
Bro. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like everywhere you look, it's I don't know how to not lose your damn mind. You just have to let it all go. It's like, I don't know, I guess the world's getting weird, man.
Yeah.
Because it is weird. It's really weird that everybody gets away with that kind of stuff. And then everybody's so shitty to each other.
And then you're always thinking, right, Dollar? It's like when you see something, you're like, where is a fucking cop right now?
Yeah.
That's what you're thinking all the time. Where's a fucking cop right now?
Yeah,
the minute I do something.
Yeah, and I was going to say, he's waiting for me to do 28 and a 25. That's what they're busy doing right now. Damn it.
That's what always it is. You're like, damn it, dude. Like, where's the cop at when that guy's going that?
Yeah. Dude, I was thinking about how lucky I am with like driving because they don't play in Colorado. Like I think I've had 2 tickets. I don't remember ever getting a ticket in California, but I got one time. I almost did when I was like a teenager because I had a bike in the back and the handles were covering the license plate or whatever. But that doesn't really count, and I don't think I got a ticket for it. And then I got one. Oh, that's a lie. Speaking of fast, I got a ticket one time. Did I tell you about this? Like barreling down. Oh, was I probably taking the 101 in California in a Ford Taurus with a V6? It had some go, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, I was flying. I was damn near. I don't remember if it was over or about 100 miles an hour.
Oh, jeez.
And it was like this wide open country road. It was when I broke my wrist, so I was driving back and forth between Humboldt and Sacramento, which is like a 5-hour drive.
Uh-huh.
And I was doing that on every weekend. And so I was just in a hella hurry, and I flew by, and I saw there was like a highway patrol just chilling there. And as I went by, I was like, fuck.
Yeah, one of those.
And I looked in the mirror, and dude, he looked like Dukes of Hazzard. Like he was all peeling out, dust going everywhere. Like he was like, "Do you know how fast you're going?" I was like, way too fast. Sorry, bro. I got a massive ticket. I had to go to court for that one.
Oh yeah, I'm sure, dude.
But other than that, I've had like 1 ticket maybe in Colorado.
Okay.
I'm trying to even think, and they're like little things. But I also have to say I've been stopped. I got stopped in the same place, speeding at about the same speed, driving to work when I was at RimCAD.
Okay.
Twice, and by the same officer.
Yeah.
And let me off both times.
Yeah.
I don't want to say anything, but I really feel like color of my skin because I never used to think that until talking to all my friends, and everybody's like, "You remember this? This is when we first started the podcast. We started having those kind of conversations where I was just like your typical unaware, like getting privileges everywhere, not even knowing it, until I started hearing about everybody else getting stopped by cops. I'm like, damn, like why did he let me off? You know what I mean?
Yep.
I wasn't like a hot chick or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just a random white dude. All right, sir, just slow it down there. You got it, officer. And then he stops me, same guy, same car, same speed, same exact place, same officer. All right, just make sure you slow down.
That reminds me of that Dave Chappelle skit that he was doing on Killing Me Softly. I think that was the one where he's talking about his buddy Chip. He's like, I'm going to race him, Dave.
Oh, yeah.
And he races him, and the cop pulls him over.
Race him, Dave.
He's like, and the cop pulls him over. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, I didn't know I couldn't do that. And he's like, well, you can't.
Chappelle's
Keep
so
it going.
funny.
Keep it going, buddy. And he was like, and then that's when Dave looked at Chip and was like, you didn't know you couldn't do that? He goes, right? Because I did know I couldn't do that.
I know. And they were smoking too, right? And he said they had a joint
Yeah.
or whatever. Doesn't give a fuck. It's really true. It's sad, but it's true. But I think it's the kind of shit we got to talk about. Because I think for the most part, the days of like super evil racism are mostly gone. There's definitely pockets. There's pockets of people.
Because now everyone's paying a lot more attention to it.
Yeah. But people are not. It's not the blatant racism. It's all the bias in our system.
Yeah.
It's the fact that a bunch of white dudes built this whole thing, bro. It's all set up to serve the same people. And you look at incarceration rates. You've heard me go off on this a million times. You look at all that, and it's undeniable, but it's hard to fucking talk about, right?
Yeah.
Because it is so nuanced. And especially because, I don't know, so many crazy people now, so much crazy PC shit and all the things that, like everything, everybody's getting canceled for everything left and right. It's so hard to open a conversation where like, let's talk openly about it. Because the truth is, with bias, we're all doing it.
Yeah.
We're all doing it. Like, no matter how good of a person you want to be, there's things that you just don't even think about.
Yeah.
Just like that. Like the fact that, like in order for something like that to change, right? White people kind of have to like get involved, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like you have to stop going, oh, yeah, that's crazy. I just got real
All
lucky.
the white people listening to our podcast right now are like, don't eat dollar. Don't fuck it up for us.
You're fucking it up for everybody. Stop. No, but, it's justice. It's fairness. I'm a big believer in that. Obviously, I think it's just hard to deal with because people can't see it, and then people are so sick of all the crazy left-wing shit right now. They're so tired of it that as soon as you start talking about it, you're just lumped into that category.
Yeah.
Like that people don't want to listen. Like this fucking guy, like, well, what are your pronouns then? Like immediately becomes this crazy conversation. But it doesn't have to be. But I know it because I'm really close to it with school and education.
Yep.
We have to be very aware of that, just like things, like little things like, if there's a new teacher and they set up their seating chart, we check them. We check them to make sure, like, bro, there's 8 black kids in your class, and they're all in the back row.
Yeah.
So let's not do that.
Yeah.
And I've told you about that crazy study they did like 10 years ago where they were checking, teachers were like monitoring. I think I told this on a really old podcast with, I think when Tyson was here, where they had teachers teaching online and like a classroom full of students. And what they didn't tell the teachers is they had eye tracking. So they could tell exactly where the teachers were looking. And they told them beforehand, hey, this kid, and this kid, they're kind of high flyers. So be aware of them. And those 3 kids that they said were white kids on purpose. And then they had black kids in the class. And when they monitored, these are not like racist teachers.
Yeah.
Like a regular average high school or middle school or whatever it was teacher, they tracked their eyes and they were watching the black kids way more than they were watching even the kids that they were warned, like, hey, this kid's kind of a troublemaker.
Yeah.
And they specifically had those black kids like were following every rule to a T and like doing exactly what they're supposed to be, and the teacher's eyes are still watching them more.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the new thing we have to deal with. Like, because the old crazy, like, fuck black people, they're, whatever, that shit is mostly dead for us normal people.
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely pockets of Looney Tunes out there. And unfortunately, I think there's probably pockets of those people in high places, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So there's the conscious stuff. That stuff, too. But I think way more of the demon that we got to face is, like, the fact that we don't question, that nobody's, like, we gotta fix the fact that if you look at jails, it's all colored people, bro.
Yeah.
It's all black people. It's all Hispanics. It's minorities. It is not nearly as much white people.
Yeah.
And we have to address that.
Well, one of the other things too that happened back in the day with an ex-girlfriend, I remember I got pulled over in Parker, and I had my Camaro, and my ex-girlfriend was in the Camaro with me. And she's white, right? I'm obviously Hispanic. And the officer pulled us over, and he's, asked the whole question, how fast you're going, and so on and so forth. And he, like, looks into her, and he's like, are you okay, ma'am?
No.
Why would she not be okay?
Because she's white with blonde hair and light eyes.
It's like,
What the
and
fuck?
she asked that too. She's like, "What do you mean? What do you mean not doing it?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just making sure you're okay."
Was this a white officer?
Yeah. And I was like, "What?" That's a
See,
weird
that's the
question
kind
to
of stuff that
ask.
I had never, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah. And that's like, I was like, "That's
Yep.
what is that? What do you mean? Is she okay?"
So when you see shit like that, and I hear stories about all my friends that are not white,
Yeah.
and they have very different experiences with the cops, then when you see something, I forgot the guy's name, but there's been so many. But the one specifically, it always haunts me. That one dude that was in the passenger seat, that I think he said I have a control carry, and he was reaching, or maybe he was reaching for his ID. I can't remember. He was reaching for something. He was trying to be legit, and they shot him like 5 times. Pop, 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 pop. Those two things are connected.
Yeah.
The fact that every time you get stopped, if you're not white, it's going to be a much higher chance that some shit's going to fucking go sideways on you.
Yeah.
That's
wild.
yeah. And that's what I mean is like, we have to deal with that somehow.
Yeah.
And in the climate we're in, it seems impossible because everybody's way over to the left or way over to the right. You know what I mean? And like, nobody wants to come together or hear the other side, and they're busy fighting about all this bullshit. But meanwhile, to me, it's like, it's injustice and it's right in front of our face. Like, people don't want to wake up to that. They're still stuck in the old battles. Well, all those laws were lifted and we don't have slaves anymore.
Yeah.
And people need to get over it. But at the same time, you're like, no. Everything's built on it, bro.
Yeah.
Look around. Look around. Yeah. It's like go on a rant. Saturday morning, Pierce. Should be chilling out a little bit because it's been crazy. Work always takes me a few weeks.
Yeah.
And now this year I took on way more responsibilities, took on a new subject, math.
Yep.
Which now I get why there's extra pay for it. I get why it's hard to find math teachers. I get it. It's
Yeah.
there's I was telling you before the podcast, there's a finer lens on you. Like every little move you're making is watched.
Yeah.
Way more people in your classroom all the time, like with a microscope, which is why it's funny to me how, you know, you hear that all the time. Like, what are these teachers? Who's watching these teachers? What are they doing in there? I'm like, dude, if you're teaching math, English, or social studies or science,
Yeah.
they're watching every move that you're making. But it is kind of funny when I was teaching ELD, it's almost like that bias we're talking about, because at our school, we make a real effort, to like make things equitable.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the way the system's set up is I was teaching English language development. So I'm specifically teaching multilingual learners.
Yeah.
Bro, nobody's watching me. I was like, thank God I have integrity. I
Yeah.
do. And I love my job. I take it serious and I want to help these kids.
Yeah.
But if you didn't, who would know?
Yeah.
Nobody would know. You know what I mean? I'm like, we're playing Monopoly every day. Who cares? Like,
Yeah.
or whatever, or filling their heads with whatever.
But they just care about the core system.
Yeah, because we want them to perform in math and science and.
But
all that
meanwhile, if they don't understand English, to learn those math.
Yeah, for
problems.
sure. For sure. Hey, at least they have grown enough that like the old ideas have changed. Like I remember growing up and ESL class, I mean, literally the teachers would be like, they didn't want students speaking their native language. Like if they spoke Spanish, like,
Yeah.
like stop them, like English. And now there's like so much science on it. We've studied the shit out of it. No, it's like, it's the opposite, bro. Not only that, people who speak multiple languages and then learn English like as a second language and then learn in both languages
Yeah.
and leverage both languages, they're way more successful than people who are monolingual and only speak one.
That's why there's those schools out there, the world schools,
Yeah.
where they teach like, a language with learning. So like they're teaching like Mandarin, or they're teaching like French, or they're teaching, Spanish
Yeah.
while they're learning, and in those subjects too. So like math,
Yeah,
they're
that's
teaching
dope. We just
Spanish.
started doing that this year.
Yeah.
We have, but only for Spanish. We have one of our math teachers. She's from Spain,
Oh.
and so she teaches one class in English and one class in Spanish. So we have one whole class of students that's learning math and Spanish, which is dope.
Yeah.
And we have it for social studies too. We've had it for 2 years for social studies, where they're learning the same content but in Spanish instead. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we have to wake up to that stuff. It's sometimes you just wonder though, like same thing I'm talking about with like the bias that exists when it's deeply ingrained in the system. How do you fix that shit? Because I told you one of the most depressing classes I ever took was the history of American education, and you realize why they set it up, how they set it up.
Yep.
Like there's very specific outcomes they're looking for, and they're not. As a teacher, why I get into teaching, the things I'm getting in it for are not what they designed it for.
Yeah.
I'm getting in it because I want them to be able to handle life, dude. I want them to be able to learn how to be successful human beings and go out and follow whatever dream they have and be good at it and be, you know, social skills, be able to get along with people and etc. But none of that. It's like, no.
Yeah, it was designed like the American work life, the assembly line.
Oh, yeah.
You go to school for 8 hours.
Yeah.
You go to work for 8 hours.
100%.
You get a 30-minute lunch. You get a 30-minute lunch.
Conditioning you.
Yeah, conditioning you, putting you in together with groups of people, you know, working together, you know, and disciplining those who don't work well with each other, you know, and separating them and or letting them go, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that when I got into teaching, I wasn't aware of any of this shit. But luckily, because I got lucky in the way they set it up. Remember, they gave me extra credits from my teaching license thing.
Yeah.
So they put it into the master's. So while my first couple of years teaching, I was also getting a master's in education.
Yeah.
So it was like super helpful classes like that, or like understanding the whole system. And little by little, I realized like, oh, it's no beautiful world like I thought. Like, you know, like I'm going to go and change kids' lives. And you realize like, oh, you're going to want to do all that. And there's lots of teachers who go into it, and that's exactly what their goals are.
Yeah.
But you realize you're always going to be chained to the system, like chained to the bureaucracy of it and what the way, like the bullshit. We've talked many times on this podcast about how funding for schools is, you know, it's based on the income of the neighborhoods around you or whatever.
I mean, that's like here in Colorado, I think the Colorado Mountain College is like, it for a long time, it was like the third cheapest school to go to in the United States for college. Like the credit hours was like ridiculous, right? But the reason for that is because Colorado Mountain College, where they're located.
Yeah.
They're located in Vail. They're located in Aspen. You
Right.
know, they're located in Steamboat, you know, stuff like, yeah. All those places where you have $1 million houses, you know, and it's based on the property tax that helps fund the schools, and that's why they're able to do the tuition like that, because of the areas that they're in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because right now you're up in those areas that have $1 million houses where people who live in those $1 million houses could probably afford a tuition, but now they don't have to pay a large tuition because they have, you know.
No, it's crazy. And that's a big thing I discovered in teaching was how much of their own money teachers spend.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yep.
It's like it just goes. It's like an expense of the career, you know, because you can get a certain amount of things. You can get a lot of things, but you have to be so creative, bro.
Yeah.
Like there's so many different fundraisers and like different things that you have to tap into because nobody's helping you out. And where you are is so different. Like many, you know, schools will be like, here's what they'll give you a list. Like the student needs to start the school year with all this, so you need to figure it out, go buy it. And occasionally a school will have something like, if you have trouble, you know, contact this, but it's pretty rare. Most of the time they just give it to you and just say it's an expectation. Our school, this is the first year we've required anything of our students, and it's pencils. Okay. They just have to bring their own pencils, and I'm still, you know. So what we do, we came up with a system where we want to encourage them to get their own, so we use those golf pencils.
Yeah.
No erasers, you know what I mean? Like short, they're so annoying. It's actually really effective. Most kids are bringing their pencils now, but the ask of our families can't be the same as some of those other schools because it just won't happen.
Yeah.
Like they won't be able to do it.
Well, I'm pretty sure that it's way different than the school that Callie goes to that you teach at, because at ours, like they give the school supply list, and the school supply list is basically like a pre-pack that's made on Amazon, and you buy it on Amazon and it ships to the school, and so it's like no responsibility needed, you know.
Just
so
pay the money.
We pay the money online, and it gets shipped to the school, and their school supplies are already at their school.
Oh, that's like a dream come true from a teacher. You know what I mean? If you could just do that and just everybody just we have all this
but like
cool
you were
stuff.
saying, it's because of the area, right? It's because of the funding of the schools.
What I want to understand better too is how it doesn't benefit us. How do they get away with it? The gentrification there is not benefiting us. You know what I mean? Doesn't the tax rates go up and then all of a sudden they're building? Because that's the weirdest thing, you know. Like 2 streets over, you got all these
$1 million houses.
$1 million houses. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, but those $1 million houses, they're not. I mean, because of like the area, right? They're not paying high property taxes on those areas too. That's another like benefit of that they're going in there and building those houses.
So they got these giant houses that they're barely paying anything on.
Yeah, no HOAs, stuff like that, right?
Yeah,
you know. But if you want to buy $1 million house in a prominent area, you're gonna have ridiculous HOAs, right? You're gonna have some property tax associated with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll take hate, but sometimes and I joke about it. But I'm kind of racist against white people. Like, it drives me crazy. Like, when I'm driving near my school, those are the people that make me fucking crazy. It's like the ones it's like there's so much entitlement walking around. Just their dogs literally just shitting on our grass, and they just keep walking like, hey. You're like, what the heck are you doing, bro? This is just because it's a public school. We had to put a fence. We put a fence a few years ago because the field was open, and it was just ransacked like it was a public park every weekend, and they would just leave stuff or whatever. And
Trash,
and I had some guy. Like I pulled up to a stop sign, and he's like crossing the road with his dog, bumps into somebody else in front of me, walking their dog. They're all walking dogs, and they just start talking. I'm like, I'm sitting here at a stop sign while you guys just have a conversation, and then he just gives me a little wave, like, "Oh, thanks, buddy," and then they go there. I'm like, come on, dude, it's so crazy. It's so weird to be in those neighborhoods and see the contrast. It's so unbelievable. And of course, they're all mad at the school. These kids are always out here and da 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 da.
It's a school,
bro. You moved right next door to a school. What do you want?
It's a school.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. That building is cool that I work in, though.
Yeah, it's an older building.
It's definitely haunted, dude. Because there used to be 2 schools in that building, and now our student population got so big, and theirs was declining so rapidly that that school dissolved, and now we just have the whole building to ourselves. It is giant, dude.
Who got to go into the nice side then? Because didn't you say there was a charter school at the other side, and like they had nicer stuff?
Yeah. Well, they rearranged everybody. I ended up still in the same previous part of the building. It's not that much different, honestly, but they did leave a lot of stuff too.
Yeah.
There was books and like random shit that they left. But I don't remember. Oh, I was going. It's so old, dude. So there was parts of that building I had never seen, and there's like a 3rd floor, 2nd floor, ground level, and then basement level. The basement level, part of the basement level is actually at ground level. And then part of it's like way under. Okay. And so we found like these little recesses of like, dude, the hair on my neck stood up. Like walking in there's like this giant storage room that hadn't, nobody had opened it forever. And there's like all this super old shit in there. I like walked in, and you can go deep into it, like probably 50 yards, I would say. Like you could just walk deep into it. And then when you get to the back, it's just, there's no way out. It's just like a dead end of concrete walls or whatever. Dude, I'm telling you, that place is haunted. I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
This is the killing room. This is the killing room.
Well, then I also found out there's this classroom in the basement where, like, somehow there's a spot. Oh no, it's not the classroom. It's the auditorium. Okay. There's like these little metal things, and no one knows what they were for. They're like under the seats in between, like these little. They look like little pipes or something, but you can open the top. But apparently, they go down into this like little crawl space underneath. So if they drop their phone down there, you have to go around to this crawl space and like go inside. I saw it, like looked in, bro. It's fucking terrifying. A building from 1926. You're underground, looking into this like 10 foot by 10 foot, and then height wise, it's probably 2.5 feet or whatever. So you're crawling, and it's all dirt. Nope. Like, how old is that dirt, bro?
No, I don't do crawl spaces.
Hell no, dude. The worst experience, one of the worst experiences of my life was, Tatai, Myra's like, kind of like they raised her, but it's her aunt and uncle. Yeah. One time I had to, they needed me to go in there because there's some heavy thing they had to lift and nobody could lift it. So they needed me to go down there. Yeah. Bro, as we opened up the doorway to it,
spiders and shit.
Just fucking spiders and cobwebs everywhere. Only because looking back, I can't believe I went in there, dude. No, dude. Like, I hate spiders. Black widows is my worst nightmare. And they were just everywhere. And I did it. I went in there. I got the thing out. I got out. And it was just like one of those like, like, oh, no way, bro. Spiders get me bad.
No, I can't. Yeah, I can't do that. I cannot do that.
Just look at my camera. It just all of a sudden just zoomed in on my keyboard.
Your elbow. Look at your elbow. Right
here. Cameraman fucking sleeping on the job over here.
What's going on? Yeah, dude, spiders are, oh my God. Speaking of spiders, he's probably going to kill me for telling this, but Fran.
I feel like I knew the name was going to be Fran as soon as you said he's going to kill me.
Fran sent me a picture, bro. And it was of a blurry spider. And I was like, what the I was like, because, he's like you, he's an iPhone user. and iPhone to Android doesn't really translate to videos.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes photos, but never like when you send me a video, it's going to be a trash video all the time.
I actually didn't
And,
know
like,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
And so he sent me this blurry ass picture of a spider, and I was like, "What the hell?" I was like, question mark. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And he was like, "Bro," he's like, "I had a migraine for like a week." He was like, and he's like, so finally, he was like, Ash. Cleaned out my ear, got a little syringe, and just cleaned out my ear. He goes, "This is what came out of my ear, bro."
Shut up. Wait, was it a spider though?
Yes, dude.
Shut up.
Let me show you the picture.
That's one of my worst
Let me show you
nightmares.
this picture, bro.
He had a fucking spider in his ear. It was dead.
Yeah, it was dead. Yeah, it was dead.
At least it was dead. But jeez, oh,
And you look at this spider, and you're like, that is my nightmares, bro.
bro,
Hold on, look at.
I gotta see this thing for sure. Oh no! Show it in the camera. Oh my god! In your ear.
That was
Fran
in
had that shit in his
That is
ear.
an ear, dude. A dead ass spider. I was like, oh my god. He goes, actually just got a spider out of my ear canal, flushed out with a syringe.
I don't understand how he says it so lightly. Bro, I would have called you for sure. I wouldn't have sent a picture. I would have called you about, you are not gonna fucking believe this. It would be an experience of a lifetime. I would have nightmares the rest of my life.
Have you ever cleaned your ears out like that with like a syringe or anything like that?
A syringe? No.
I got one of those because you know me.
Yeah,
ear
I'm
guy.
scared to fuck my eardrums up.
I'm a big ear guy, right?
Yeah.
And so we bought one of those ear cleaning kits where it has like a little guard on it, and it's supposed to be safe for cleaning your ears. And you just like,
Get on Amazon or something?
yeah,
Or- okay.
yeah, and you just like flush out your ear and like,
Send me
just-
the link, would you?
Yeah, and you just spray it and everything. Like, and that's my thing. Like, you watch all those ear cleaning videos, and you see like people
Crazy
just
shit.
like chunks of shit coming out of their ears and everything like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want that to happen, but I also want it to happen. You know,
Yeah.
one of those
Right,
things.
right.
And so we were doing it. We were cleaning my ears. Tara was helping me, and I was helping her, and like nothing really came out. I was
Yeah,
like,
okay.
dang. Like one of those, like, dang, I'm disappointed, man.
Yeah. No, I clean my ears religiously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and then we did Tira's ears. Tira had her ears had like a little bit of stuff come out, but not
Not much.
much. But yeah.
Huh.
And Ashley's his wife's a nurse, so she knows how to do stuff like that.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
But is he messing with you? Is there
No,
any
bro.
chance he's making that up?
Bro, he said it here. He had a spider in his ear, dude. A dead spider in his ear.
How?
And that was my thing too. I was like, dude, I'm such a freak with my ears. Like if anything touched or anything like it was like crawling or if I felt something touch my ear, I'd be like, no, bro, no! Like and I'd be like this, like that, you know?
I can't right now, dude. I can't believe he had a spider in his ear. That can really happen. I mean, I know it's happened, but I thought it was like those 1 in a billion. You know, there's a news article on it, like man finds spider in his ear. Like you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
clickbait type of stuff. But for that to be Fran, because I'd be so obsessed with it. I'd be like, where did this happen? Because I had to have been asleep. Because there's no way I wouldn't have felt a spider crawl in my ear.
Right?
So I must have been asleep.
Yeah.
How the fuck are there spiders? Immediately we're calling the spider people.
Orchid man.
Yeah, get them out here yesterday, bro. Like there's no way. If I have a spider in my bed, we have a problem.
Right?
That's a big, we dropped the ball if there's a spider in my bed. That should never happen.
Where the fucking spider Mission Impossible into your ear canal when you were asleep and it was like dun 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 dun. We've reached the ear canal.
Insertion is complete. Oh no, he died. Oh, you know who? The other thing too
And
is
then
like,
the other thing that freaked me out too, sorry,
no, go ahead.
was like, why was it in your ear?
Why would it want to go in your ear?
Was it laying eggs, dollar?
Oh, don't. Oh, I'm super arachnophobic. I was just gonna say that I think there's a difference on like the levels, like we were talking about in my school, like basement, ground level, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Because Jaden, we always know it's time to call the insect people when Jaden starts seeing a spider or two.
Yeah.
He'll like see him in his room, but on the third floor, it's impossible.
Yeah.
You know what's weird though? Because I think about this a lot. I think about like insects and like how they track stuff down. And I always warn my kids, you know, don't have food in your bedroom. Like it's just not a good move. And one time Jessie didn't listen and she had something in there that was sweet. It was like an open package of like whatever, some kind of like hostess thing or something. And it was sitting on her floor forever.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was in there. One day she comes freaking out like, oh my God, there's ants. I go in there and no shit, there's a ton of ants that like found it. But bro, they didn't look anything like any ant I've ever seen before. They were like these little teeny tiny miniature ants, and they were like almost red, like fire orange. Weird, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out. I was like, but it made me think. I was like, where did they come from? How did they? We're on the third floor or the second floor.
Yeah.
Like, how did they get up here? Are they going through the walls? Like, I can't stop thinking about that stuff. Like, I want to know.
So I listened to a podcast one time, and this guy. He's like a zoologist, something. Anyway, like biologist, whatever. Yeah. And he was like, he goes the little bugs that you see. The spiders, stuff like that. The ants, the spiders. The little ones that you see are the dumb ones.
Yeah,
You're like,
I've
what?
heard this. Yeah.
Like, the big ones are the ones that are thriving, that don't let you see them, and they're thriving because you haven't
Because they're
seen
elusive.
Because you haven't seen them yet. Like, what the fuck? So there's gonna be like some like hand-sized spider in my fucking walls or something like
Isn't
that.
there some crazy numbers too on like the percentage of the world that is insects? I feel like.
Oh yeah. Well, ants are outnumber us by large. Big time.
Yeah, I feel like it was biomass. It was like, holy shit. Hexapoda, which is mainly insects and springtails, contribute the most to the total soil arthropod biomass. 77%. Okay, this might be something different. This doesn't sound like it. Like how much biomass insects in the world? I'm just curious because I feel like I saw something crazy. Yeah, 400 million tons. Let's calculate it. The total biomass collective weight of terrestrial arthropods is about 1 billion tons, which is roughly the same as that of all people. Oh, so people is 400 million tons, and that's 1 billion tons. So it's over double the amount of human biomass in insects.
Yikes.
Fuck.
So if there ever was like an insect arch-villain, he just rule the world.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, that's crazy. You made me think of it because of all the ones you don't see.
Yes.
Like how many?
How many you don't see?
What's trippy is there's insects that live in the ocean too.
Yeah.
Yeah. The world is a crazy place, Pierce. It's unbelievable to me. And honestly, insects don't really bother me.
Yeah.
Like there's annoying ones like mosquitoes and flies.
Yeah.
Hate those things. They're just annoying.
Yep.
But spiders is a different story. Whereas like my kids, they'll freak out over everything. The moths really get.
Callie.
Yeah.
It's Callie too. Moths.
Yeah. All the middle schoolers, dude. They
You're like,
like
"Dude."
Yeah, because last year we had a serious moth problem.
The
in
Miller
school.
moths, yeah.
Yeah,
Get
in our
crazy.
school,
Yeah.
they were in rooms like crazy.
Yeah.
And so, kids were just losing their shit. I'm like, bro, they live like a day. Like, just let them. Who cares? They literally don't eat. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Moths don't eat. They don't have a mouth. They can't bite you. They have no way to bite you. They just walk around all fuzzy and like flopping into things.
Fuzzy and dusty.
Yep. Yeah. Fuzzy and dusty. Yep. That's it. They flop into shit for a while and then call it wraps. That's
Yeah.
it. Life's over. But people freak out like they're black widows. Yeah. Spiders. Did you see that weird thing they found in the ocean? That it was a golden orb. Mm-mm. So they were doing this. They had like a super good camera. They were going down. I'm trying to think of. I don't know where they were in the ocean, but it was like this golden orb, and they couldn't tell what it was. So they're like, "What the hell?" And they actually ended up taking it for study. So we're gonna hear more on this, on like what was in it. But as they zoom in, dude, it looks like a shiny gold egg, and then there's like a hole in it, like something came out of it,
Yeah.
and nobody. These are high-level ocean scientists, oceanographers, and everything looking at the thing, and they're like, "I have no fucking idea what that is. I've never seen anything like that in my life." But I couldn't help but think of all the, people. Like if you look at octopus and octopi and squids, and like a lot of people, I don't know. It's probably just conspiracy shit. But
It's in Alaska. It was in
it was Alaska. That's right.
It's like a skin-like substance.
Yeah. So they had the little controller, so they were like, well, let's poke it and see. And when they poked it, they saw it was really soft and it kind of held together, so it was almost egg-like, like you would expect. And then a little hole, like something had come out of it. But it was like, what egg looks like a fucking golden metal ball like that? So weird. Shit's weird. I'm curious with it because they took samples and they're like going to study it and stuff. So I kind of want to see.
During a recent mission mapping the previous unexplored habitat off the coast of Alaska, a submersible came across it.
Yeah.
The smooth golden egg appeared during the mission's live stream.
Yeah, if you Google it and look it up, listeners, that shit is crazy.
And it's definitely got a big hole in it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. They were like, it literally just looks like some kind of egg that something hatched out of, and everybody's like there was comments like, it's the beginning of the end. That was Satan. Like he was born from a golden egg in the ocean.
Scientists are struggling to nail down the specifics, even after recovering it from the depths. After all, more than 80% of the Earth's oceans have yet to be mapped or explored. That's dumb still, dude. 80% of our oceans have not been mapped or explored still.
Well, and then I just saw an article recently, too, where they discovered there's a shit ton of places throughout the world where there's a second ocean under the ocean. Because if you think about it, like gravity is always going to work, right? So anytime there's cracks, crevices in the Earth's crust or anything, water's going to always go down. And so if you think of all the ocean we see, there's got to be places that are just like immense, deep underwater caves. And like literally there could be water under certain places that we don't even know about. But they're starting to find more and more of that kind of stuff, which is nuts. And you think about how life has evolved down there. And the other thing, too, is I just love, it's embarrassing being a teacher. I'm supposed to be super logical all the time. But I love conspiracy shit.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so crazy, like, the unidentified, whatever they're calling them now, UFOs, what we used to call them. The ones that, like, go in and out of the ocean effortlessly, and sometimes they just disappear into the ocean.
Yeah.
They just dunk into the ocean, you don't see them again. Like, what the fuck is going on down there? We don't know any of it. We're looking up into space for aliens. We need to be looking in the water, bro.
Remember the movie Abyss?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Right
Great
there,
movie.
dollar. Yeah, that was a good movie. Ed Harris.
Oh, yeah. 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 It's a giant unexplored territory that who knows? We don't know what the hell's going on, dude. Nobody knows what's going on. And now we have so many humans, and we have all these people in charge in the government. Do you think it's legit? Like, why are they releasing everything all of a sudden in the last couple of years? Why all of a sudden are they just
I
telling
saw
us all
a meme.
this?
I saw a meme online that said that we've learned about aliens and like aliens and alien technology before Epstein's black book has been revealed still.
Maybe there's no coincidence there. You know what I mean?
Bro, they're just like, if I have an unidentified object, like, yes, this lady is wearing, or man is wearing a glove. I don't know what it is, but like, it's still wearing a glove. Like, in like the skin is still exposed. Like, I'm in a hazmat suit, bro.
Wait, what is that?
That's the egg thing.
That's what it looks like?
Yeah.
Can I see that for a second? Wow. So this is a more updated article.
Yeah, that's the NOO. That's the NOAA, the ones that found it. That's their website.
Doesn't look as impressive out of the water, huh? It looks like a big, like, sloppy, like, I don't even know how you would describe that.
Yeah, I don't know, but still, like, I'm in a hazmat suit, bro. Like,
oh, for sure. We don't know what it is.
It's just like a regular fucking medical glove.
She'll taste in it. What is this? No, dude, they need to. The first thing I would want to do, I don't know if they say it in that article. The first thing I want to know is, what is it made of? Is it biological material? We'll be able to tell that very quickly as soon as they like start looking at it.
Now they're referring it to as the yellow hat. The yellow hat
went from the golden orb to the yellow hat.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
It was amid a smattering of white sponges.
Yeah, I did see that too.
And it was tightly adhered to a rock. You know what's gonna be funny is that's fucking shit is just like trash.
It turns out it's an old milk jug.
It's trash.
It's fucking melted. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, that's weird. So much weird in the world we're in. There's too many people, dude. There's too much shit to know and not know.
Well, what I've seen 2 articles about the megalodon. Have you seen that thing?
No.
They were talking about like they've seen
Giant shark, right?
they've seen like an object above, right, in one spot.
What do you mean above?
Like I don't know from the sky,
Oh, looking down on the
looking
water.
down on the ocean.
I see.
And
Okay.
they saw like a thing that looked like a shark-like creature.
It was just massive.
And it was like massive, and they were like,
I did see that.
and they were saying like it was like how big it was like ridiculous. Like it's like putting like a kitten next to a bus, kind of a thing. Like that's how big it was, right?
Like putting what, a shark next to it or a person?
No, a
like,
kitten next to a bus. That's the scale it was on how big it would be, like a human to a
a human. Okay.
human to it. And so they were saying like they were like, but then we found it, then we Google something, Earth or something, found another image like that on the other side of the United States. So like it was like up here, like at the the Atlantic Ocean, and then they found that like the object of the same size on the Pacific Ocean like a day later or whatever. And they were like, it's like, but that's impossible, blah blah blah. But then like a biologist was saying, like, no, it's not impossible. Granted, the scale of things, like they say that sharks have been known to travel like 1,500 miles in a day. Just swimming.
That's crazy.
Just, being able to swim up a coast or something. And they were saying something that large would be able to generate that much power, and it wouldn't take that much to get around things, to get from one side of the ocean to the other side of the ocean.
So based on the size, it could travel like way far distances quickly.
Yeah, because of the power they can generate, right?
Yeah, that's why we're fucked in the water, though, because of how those things move. You know what I mean? We can't move. We're just flopping around and shit. They're like aerodynamic, just a little
dude.
wiggle of the tail, and they're going
Yeah.
120 miles an hour.
Yeah, I mean those things can launch
How fast
themselves.
do sharks go?
Those things can launch themselves out of water, like a fucking orca, a dolphin. Those things
Right.
can launch themselves out of water, bro. That's how much energy and force they can get out. Like imagine a human trying to. I don't think it's possible for a human to generate that much force and just like fucking flapping our fins and try to jump out of water like that. You know what I mean?
Dude, this is crazy. Indo-Pacific scalefish can swim 68 miles per hour. 68 miles an hour? You get a ticket for that in a car.
Yeah. That's almost highway speeds,
Bro, and
That's almost highway speeds, dollar.
I know, and I wonder how big are these things? 3.4 meters in length, 100 kilograms. That's pretty fucking big, right? What's 100 kilograms? Is that like?
It's like twice the amount, so it's like 250 pounds.
And they've got like a swordfish nose. They have like this like super
Really?
narrow
Damn.
nose, and they can swim. Can you imagine that thing? It's like a dart, just swimming along in the water. A giant motherfucking dart.
Just go right through you.
It looks like sharks swim up. The maximum is 12 miles. Oh no. Oh, it's different depending on the type of shark. So great whites can swim 35 miles an hour. 35.
You're not getting away from that, bro.
What's the fastest? What's the Olympic record for swimming?
Let's see here.
Yeah, you look that up. That's unbelievable. Orcas can swim also 35 miles per hour. Short fin mako sharks can swim 31 miles per hour. That's why you're fucked. You don't go in the water, guys. Don't go in the ocean. I can't even believe it. And then imagine if there is like megalodons and stuff too. It makes me definitely wonder how much. Are you looking up the speed of the Olympic gold medal?
In freestyle events, Olympic swimmers can reach speeds up to 5 to 6 miles an hour.
5 to 6 miles an hour. An Olympic level swimmer, and a great white's going 35 miles an hour.
You're not swimming. You're not swimming away from that. You're not.
No, it's chasing down your boat, homie. Yeah. Because I've seen those videos, right? You've seen those videos where people are flying along in boats, and there's orcas just like
right next to them, or dolphins, right?
Or dolphins, yeah, dolphins too. I wonder how fast can a dolphin swim? This is crazy. That's why we haven't explored the water, probably because we're not built for it, bro. 37, they're even faster.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, short-beaked common dolphin, 37 miles per hour. That's nuts, dude. Yeah, we have so much to learn about the ocean.
80% not explored dollar.
What I want to know is not what's under the ocean, what's in space, are aliens real? It's not just that. I want to know what my fellow humans know. Like, what is known in pockets of little populations here and there that are running shit in the world? Like, how much do we really know? Not all of us. Most of us don't know shit.
Yeah.
But there's definitely people that know a lot more than we do. What do they know? Is it true, all this crazy conspiracy shit? Like a society existing, like Egypt was a whole different thing, like how they built the pyramids, aliens, your whole thing you've been saying forever that you think aliens is us, right?
Yeah.
That all would make a lot of sense.
We fucking jumped ship and we were like, fuck, we're fucking this up.
Yeah, and if you want to ground in more just normal science, there's giant catastrophes ever so often. And there's no reason to think that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
That we haven't had society build up in a really crazy way and then just get leveled. And then starting over or bottlenecking or whatever.
The ELEs, right? The extinction level events.
Yeah, those happen. They're regular.
Yeah.
And we're overdue for a few of them, right? Which sucks. North America too is probably one of the biggest ones in the world, just waiting to blow.
Jeez.
And it's weird because in time scales, that's the other thing too, is like space, we're so small. Like if you look at the whole universe, we're so tiny. But the same thing goes for time. Like how long the universe has been around, how often the cycle of our Earth that we live on compared to our lifespan is ridiculous. We're a blink of the eye.
Yeah.
So it's like even trying to know if something like that's going to happen, we have no idea. Like, yeah, it could happen within a million years, either before now or ahead of now, within a 2 million year window.
Wasn't it something dumb like we were reading one time, like out of like a 1,000-page book, the humanity timeline in a 1,000-page book is like a quarter of a page. You're like, damn.
I know. And that you can say a similar type of thing for life.
Yeah.
Like how old the Earth is and how old life is. Wasn't been around that long compared to how long the Earth itself has been along. And you think about how it all works. Like, do you know how that stuff? I ended up teaching a unit, so I learned a lot of it in detail of like how planets are formed. Do you know what they're? It's from the star, like our sun or whatever. When it's first forming, it starts as just a cloud of gas, bro. That's just too much, and the nature of gravity pulls it all together, and it gets denser and denser, and starts glowing hot, and then sometimes it gets spinning, and what's coming off of it are these little bits that cool, but they don't get far enough away to get out of the orbit. And you get planets and asteroids and all that shit that goes around, and that's how a planet's formed. Which is why it's always funny, that cliche statement that like we're literally born of stardust, because that's what we all come from. Everything you see, the Scarlet, the computer, like all of it came from exploded stars, dude, which is really wild when you think about it. But that's where our Earth came from, and all that process happening on one tiny little planet in one tiny little galaxy that is a galaxy of an unknown amount, possibly infinite.
Yeah.
And I'm stressing out because I got too many things on my task list, Pierce. Wake up, dollar. Doesn't matter. Screw the task list.
That's what we were joking around, right? You were like, when you were stressing out, you're like,
yeah.
Thanks, Pierce. Maya's out this week.
Yeah, she was out of town. Well, we balance each other out. We always talked about that.
Yeah.
I have that personality type, that's just always worrying. The advice she gave me, though, was I would recommend it to all the people out there who suffer like I do. Because my daughter, I have one of my 3 kids. One of my kids is just like me.
Yeah.
Jessie, the youngest one. She's just overthinker, just always thinking of every possible bad scenario that can happen. And what should I do? And, I forgot to cross this T. I can't sleep at night. My stomach hurts. Like she's got all that going on.
Yeah.
And I think the number one thing, dude, is to stay in the moment. Because all that shit you're worried about, it's either already happened or it's coming in the future. Just whatever the thing is right now. Do you need to do something right now? Just do it.
Yeah.
But get it out of your head. But it's easy to say.
Yeah.
I'll be calling you again, Pierce, next time she's out of town. Pierce, I'm freaking out. Yeah. It's weird how people's brains are different, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's another thing that's crazy. We're just having a deep conversation today about all this shit, because that's the other thing that blows my mind is how many people you see and how no two people are the same.
Yeah.
It never happens. You're never like exactly the same. Even literally twins that come from the same place are still not exactly the same.
Yeah.
And you think of all the people that have ever lived, the same person's never been born twice in the sense of like cell for cell.
Yeah.
Like every
everything's unique.
It's just set up.
Like no snowflake is the same either.
That's like become a joke though. Okay, Snowflake.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you're unique. We
Oh
know.
my God. So okay, we're talking about circling around back to people and schools and stuff like that.
Yep,
and so
yep.
like at our particular school, our particular area that we live in, they have all these bumper stickers that say lions, not sheep. Right? Lions, not sheep. Lions, not sheep.
Yeah, okay.
But there's so many of those fucking bumper stickers.
They're all sheep.
And I'm like, it's kind of lost its luster there with all these fucking bumper stickers everywhere.
I'm a lion.
Lions, not sheep.
That's so funny. That's why I got my lion though, for a similar reason. The one here, and then same with the bear, is just like, I feel like sometimes I'm Mr. Nice Guy, Pierce. I'm always super nice and everything, but deep inside there's a snarling bear. But yeah, it's funny how things get cliche. You remember tattoos back in the day? Remember the barbed wire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone had a barbed wire around their arm.
We all want to be different so bad, but we're all scared to literally be different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or how many girls have the butterfly tramp stamp?
Yeah, that's a bad one. Don't get that one. At least with the barbed wire, you can cover it up or change it,
Yeah.
later or something. But what are you going to do? Like some of the, especially if you did a big one. Oh
Yeah.
God, a big old butterfly right there. That's a lot of work to fix that. Yeah, people are weird though. You know what? I heard something on Joe Rogan that was weird about tattoos though. Was that like whoops? Do you know what that is? A whoop watch or whatever. It's kind of like a
Yeah, the whoops, yeah.
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 So you know what that is.
Yep.
I guess some of the features don't work if you have tattoos.
What?
Because the way it measures like your heart rate and stuff through using light through your skin.
Okay.
That if you put it in a place where there's a tattoo, it can't accurately read it.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you ever think about tattoos? Sometimes I do. Sometimes I think about like, I don't care because I just like them. I'm just going to do them no matter what.
Yeah.
But sometimes I do wonder about like, what's in that ink, and like, there's got to be something. Like I've read or saw something somewhere where it was like post-mortem. They were looking at their, like, what are those called? The glands, your lymph nodes.
Okay.
Looking at lymph nodes, and the person hadn't had tattoos in like 30 years, and their lymph nodes were like full of the colors of their tattoos.
Huh.
Wow. No, I don't care.
I don't
It's
know.
one of those weird. Sometimes I can hit the switch because I'm an over worrier, but there's certain things where I can just flip the switch off and go, I don't give a fuck. It's probably not good, but I don't really care. And it's supposed to be the white. I've heard is supposed to be the worst for you.
Huh.
Like white. I have quite a bit of white and stuff. So
They have now those new ones that glow under black light.
tattoos that glow.
Under black
black light?
Yeah. But it's like super
That's
rare.
weird.
Yeah.
Probably expensive.
I don't know, probably not safe, maybe. Like,
Yeah, you
like
glow.
some luminescence under your skin. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I do know that they've cleaned up tattoo ink a lot.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, if you got a tattoo in the 70s, there's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Who knows? Fucking mercury in there. Who cares? Just whatever, you know.
Yep. Lead-based paint. You know. Whatever.
I got a tattoo with lead base ink. Bro, it stays good. The color pops.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I think about that sometimes. I don't know. I did tell you I think I might not go forever with the tattoos. I've always kind of talked like I don't think I'll ever stop getting tattoos,
Yeah.
bro. But I think I'm gonna reach an end point.
Yeah.
I can't decide if I want to do my legs or not. I might do the legs.
Yeah. I know one that I need to.
What do
get
you
on
want
my
to do?
leg.
What's the one you want to do?
That's my Dragon Ball Z Father Son Kamehameha on my leg,
What part of your leg do you want to get on?
either on the other thigh or my calf.
Other thigh. Oh, you have one on your thigh?
Yeah.
What do you have on your?
Calliope's on my thigh.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that. The coolest thigh one I saw was, remember JD's? He's got that fucking old ass ship.
ship. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yep.
dope too. I don't necessarily know what I would get. I just can't seem to stop myself. I had a rethink moment with this one though, honestly, because the inside right there, especially close to the armpit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, you know what drives me crazy now is like these people that are getting like anesthesia being put under to get tattoos. Like, come on, man.
Dude.
I understand it's like they're huge back pieces, right? Or they're like a whole leg or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, come on, be a man. Do it like us regular people and do it in different sessions. Like,
Well, I heard Conor McGregor say something about it one time, and I completely agree with him. Like, part of what I love about getting tattoos is that you do got to suffer through it.
yeah.
It's not free. It's
No.
not only is it expensive monetarily, but
Yeah.
also you got to suffer for it. You got to earn it because it's
yeah.
going to be on your skin the rest of your life. So to get it there, it's going to be some pain.
Yeah.
And I love that about it. It's almost therapeutic or like
It's a ritual, dog.
it's a ritual.
It's a rite of passage.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, that's what I love about it. So it doesn't make sense because I've seen that stuff coming out.
Or those traditional Samoan tattoos where they're like
Ooh, yeah.
just hammer it into
Yeah.
you. Like,
Yeah. Dude, can they use the things for that too, like anesthetic or something?
no, I don't think so, dude.
No.
That's
Yeah,
like
can
that's
you
supposed to be like
imagine?
the most painful tattoo you can get. is those.
Yeah, and slow.
Yeah.
Bro. So slow. Yeah. For anybody who out there who has not got tattoos, it's not what I thought. I always thought it was going to be like the craziest, sharpest pain of my life. Like
Yeah.
somebody was cutting through me. And it's not. It's almost like somebody's just scraping your skin over and over and over to the point of rawness. Like,
Yeah.
And then in the end, it's any skin thing's kind of going to be similar. It feels so much. It feels similar to like an super extreme sunburn to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, everyone always jokes around because, like, I don't like needles. I don't like shots. I
Yeah.
don't like getting my blood taken. I don't like giving blood. And everyone always says the same stupid thing, same stupid comment every time I say I don't like needles. But you got tattoos. I'm like, it's not going into my muscle. It's not going past my skin.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a different fucking needle.
Different fucking needle for sure. Yeah, my thing was I've never been afraid of needles so much. Like I could get shots and stuff like that. It was always the taking the blood. That was hard. I've never gotten quite over that where you watch a needle go into your arm and start taking out your fucking your life energy, bro. Your blood,
Yeah.
your chi, dude. Like I don't like it. It just feels weird. I know you got to study it and you got to see stuff in it, but I've had some bad experiences. I've gotten better as I've gotten older. I can tolerate it now. I even got myself to look at it the last time I went in for a thing. I just watch it. But I definitely told you the story how when I forced myself to give blood, that I felt bad because
Yeah.
I was like, I don't give blood because I'm queasy about it. But I'm young and I was like 22 or something at
Yeah.
the time. I'm like, I'm young, I'm healthy. There's people who definitely need it. I should just go give blood. And
Yeah.
I did it. And then I was like so nervous. My palms were sweating and I'm like sitting there the whole time and I couldn't see the bag. And then the lady was like, I have never seen anybody fill up a bag this fast. And I was like, really? We're almost done? Oh, good. We're almost done. And then I look over and it was like it happened in slow motion. She's holding the bag and she just starts swinging it. It's all.
And you're like,
And I literally went out, dude. I was already laying down, and I was just like, and I woke up, and they were all standing around me, and they made me stay and eat Twinkies and shit. They're like, never again.
no.
Fuck that.
That's like when you just like when I get tests done, right? Like physicals and everything like that.
Yeah.
And when they're taking blood,
Yeah, sometimes they take like 6 freaking
like little
vials.
tiny vials, right? You're like,
Yeah.
why can't you just take
One big one.
big one and just spread that shit out?
Yeah.
Like,
Right?
you don't need to keep on going. Oh, tink, tink, tink.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Changing it out. Put
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah, that's what they
Changing
do.
it out. Put another
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Just take one big one.
Yeah. What are we doing here?
Yeah. Anyways, and so I remember one time I was getting my blood taken, and I was like, I don't like to look at it, so I just sit there and I like do this, right? Turn my head to the side, has my arms on the table, and I remember this one lady, she's like, "It's okay, just relax." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm as relaxed as you can get. I just don't just get this done." I was like, "We'll
Yeah,
be done
get
as
on
soon as
with
we're
it.
done." And so when she got done, she pulled out. She's like, "All right, we're done," and she's like pulling out the needle. She goes, "Oh God." And I was like,
Oh, no.
I was like, "Don't look, dude. Don't
say
look."
that.
And she was like, she's like, "You're a squirter." And I was like,
How
"Oh
dare
God."
she really said that?
Oh God. And I was like, "Don't look, dude. Don't look. Don't look." And then like she's like, Can you just hold the swab here?" And she's like, I'm like feeling like where it's here it is. I'm like, oh my God, and just like holding it there, not looking. And I'm like, look at her in dollars. She had like blood like right like just like down her shirt.
Did she literally say you're a squirter?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
that's the first thing she said. That's saying that
And
she
so
would
I was
phrase
like,
it
"Oh
like
my
that.
God, oh my God!" I was like, "Jeez, dude."
Yeah.
That's how high my blood pressure gets when
Ooh.
I'm getting my blood.
Yeah,
done.
same. Yeah, same.
That's what they say too. Like before, when they're taking your blood, they take your blood pressure, and they're always like, just relax,
Yeah.
just relax. Yeah, no, as long as we're not taking shots or
Yeah.
taking blood, I'll relax.
I feel like they should take my blood pressure twice. Take me right when I get there, get all the shit done with, and then I'm heading on out to go back to life. That's when you do it. Yeah. 160 episodes in the bag, sir. We
Yes,
are
sir.
marching along. I'm working on a few guests myself.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. We'll see what we got coming up. Looking at maybe some ex-basketball player.
Okay.
A couple things. You got somebody lined up in October.
Got a DJ coming on here, another DJ.
Another DJ.
Yeah, we're gonna get this ramping up to go again.
Oh yeah, brother.
All right, Dollar. Well, anything to say to the listeners? Don't stress out
Don't stress out
about the things you can't control.
about the things you can't control.
Woosah. And with that, Dollar, it is a wrap. Cheers.
Cheers.